Good morning, y'all. It's Sunday morning. It's June 11th, and I'm Rachel. I'm gardening for butterflies and for myself on the Alabama Gulf Coast in Zone 9A. And today, it's already 79 degrees. It's going to get up to 86 degrees. The wind's kind of gusting. I've been having to hold on to my hat. I've been not really doing as much things in the garden as I would have liked to have done this week. I did cut back the salvias, some of them. And I planted some more stuff, but looking around the garden this morning, I was like, wow, it's just really gotten away from me. It's been like a 3-year-old in the other room when you're on the phone and you turn around and it's covered in desert and peanut butter. It's just, it's kind of about like that. But y'all just come along and I'll show you. I've planted some new stuff, and I've got, of course, my butterflies have been growing huge, my butterfly caterpillars, and I'll just show you what I've been doing. Now that I have cut back the salvia, it's kind of looking like a collection of containers again out here because things need to grow back in. But I have the sad remnants of what was that Goodwin Creek lavender. I had to rip it out. I got to put something else in that pot. But I'm glad that I can see the picket fence again. That's nice. And some things just need to be rearranged. No pots are going to be staying on the in the seating area anymore because it just gets too hot out here. So I've moved those giant containers into the front yard, which I'm enjoying them there. But oh gosh, I wanted to show you the bluebonnets are setting seed, and their pods are just super cool and fuzzy. So that is super neat, and the other one is blooming. I'm loving these things. I'm so thankful to have them, not just for the flowers, but the leaves are just really cool. So that is a fun, easy thing to grow from seed, and I want it to always be in my garden now that I've enjoyed them thus far. But I bought a bunch of pink and white stuff at Cornucopia last week, and I potted it up. And I finally, just this morning, just kind of plopped it in an area, and I was going to show you where I put it. But, God, y'all, this cleome, is that not cool? That cleome right there. I got some more cleome, and it's pink, pale pink, but it was kind of leggy and weird, so I chopped it off so it doesn't look good right now. So this is the area that I'm kind of going to try to turn into a pink and white wonderland. Oh, well, it's going to have some lavender in it, too. But I got some plants, and I videoed what they were. Although what's funny is I didn't know how to pronounce this Mexican heather. I didn't know it was Kufia. But the bees really like this because it's got those tiny, tiny flowers on it, and it just seems to bloom all the time. And see this right here? This is like, I don't know what the real name is, but I call it wishbone flower. And it's going to mound and grow out of that container. But I'm liking, the chartreuse and the pink and the pale lavender and the purples. And I took some bricks and did it in kind of a herringbone pattern right here. But this bubblegum supertunia right here is going to grow crazy. I probably won't be able to walk through here after everything kind of grows in. But I got some of my favorite pentas. These, and it's that lavender color. And they've been kind of like short, and now that I think about it, I'm like, I wonder if this was supposed to be some sort of dwarf variety, and I don't know if I have the tag anymore. And of course, I didn't pay attention, but oh, this is going to be so pretty when it like grows in. My little Queen of Sweden rose has got a couple of blooms on it. Oh, and you know what? I got another rose from Kim's nursery, and I don't recall what kind it is, but it's got 2 little blooms on it, and it's just so sweet. I gotta show you right here. Just the cutest little blooms. And here's something. They smell good, but you know what they smell like to me? They've got kind of like a banana scent to them. It's kind of an odd. I got my daughter out here, and I said, smell this and tell me what you think it smells like. And she agreed with me, but I don't know if she was just trying to make me happy or if she really, really did think that it smelled like bananas. But because several roses recently have smelled like bananas to me, and I wonder if that's a sign that you had a stroke or something. You know how they say that if you smell burnt toast, you've had a stroke. Well, if your roses smell like bananas, what does that mean? yeah, I'm kind of surprised that some of the roses are blooming. This is Big Mama. Big Mama has been kind of prolific, but I've got Big Mama blooming, and then this Summer Romance over here. Let me get in close on it. Look at this beauty. Summer Romance. Ugh, for the wind. But here's the problem with Summer Romance that I've been having. I'm going to let this go and it's going to flop. So here's the problem with Summer Romance. Ugh, it's kind of hard to get through here. So it turns into an octopus. It just kind of just wants to grow everywhere, out and around. And for a while there, I was kind of trimming it back and trying to be careful with trimming it back. And then one day it grabbed me, and I just cut just willy-nilly. And now it's kind of growing straight up, so maybe it's going to behave. But it's just kind of in the middle and in the way, and I'm always stepping around it. I may end up moving it, and I might try to train it like on one of the fences, and then its octopus way would be fine. Y'all, I guess you can tell I keep coming back to this spot right here. I love this crazy spot right here so much. Here's another Emery Paul Dahlia Bloom, and it is just so stunning. Y'all, it is so, I brought one to work with me, and I had so much fun talking to people about it, because everybody who saw it was just like, that's not real, and I had to be like, no, it is. And then I had to let them hold it, and then they tried to sniff it. Now that part's disappointing because they don't smell good. But wow, y'all, wow, dinner plate dahlias, that might be my new obsession. I might have to get a jillion of those, because I didn't, but I'm going to show y'all how my dahlias are doing. But real quick before I leave this spot, okay, so to remember, I adore this combination right here. It's a purple cleome, and then it's Wicked Witch coleus and Thai basil, and then pink coneflower and Diamond Frost euphorbia, and that right there that's going out, that's got to come out, is the agastache. But don't y'all think that this is just, oh. And then of course with the pale pink and the kind of citrusy colors right here, just all of it is, oh, Gomphrena, that pale pink Gomphrena right there. Y'all, I want to have this forever. Okay, here are the dahlias. Some of them doing better than others. One got, well, I don't know if it's been destroyed, but it has been eaten down, and came to look and see what was the problem, and it was armyworms. So I'm hoping that was just a little bit of a setback, and so they seem to all be coming in, some faster than others. This one is, well, a sad no-show at the moment, but everything else has got, well, that one's got a little, let's see, is this a no-show also? Okay, yeah. Wait, is that something? No. Okay. All right. So I hope that these will grow big enough to flower before it gets cold. So far, I've had a couple of little depredations by armadillos in this section, but it's been small. They haven't like taken plants and thrown them aside and dug them out. They've just kind of dug in little things here and there. This is that green-eyed Rudbeckia that I started from seed. Isn't it cool? I'm really enjoying that little, and I might have put too many all at one spot. I have like 5 on this end, and I don't think any on the other, or maybe at the very end. But that is so fun. Also, I planted a few things on the back side of this fence for my neighbor. I asked her if she minded if I did it, and she did not mind. And I'm gonna like line it with rocks too, because I was just feeling super confident now that the armadillo has left it alone. I was like, hey, let's just make this into like a kind of a native wildlife center right here. I had to rip a few things out of the bog garden this week because it was just getting too overrun, and I wanted to make sure that these things in the center got enough sun. Now, sadly, the gorgeous pitcher plants that Lindy Lou sent me look dead. I'm hoping that that they're just building energy in their root system. But here is a sundew that's making a comeback. And then the Venus flytrap is looking pretty good. Looks like hopefully it's trapping some things. And then here's what my tiny pitcher plant was, and now it's grown rather big. And I like how it really stands out in front of that mock bishop's weed. That's really cool. And then the white milkweed right there, aquatic milkweed. Oh, and here is the view from the guest bedroom window. So it's looking a little bit sparse until everything grows in, but I'm hoping that it will turn out nicely. This is where I piled my rocks and bricks when I don't use them, and I came over here the other day and I had on gloves, and I was moving some bricks, and I'm always careful around piles of rocks and bricks and stuff, because I know that, you know, snakes, they like that kind of area. And I found a little it was a Florida brown snake, and took some videos and photos of it. It was so cute, and they only get to be about a foot long, and they're tan, and they're just really sweet and docile kind of little snakes, as you will see when I show you the video. Looks like he is about a foot long, and I'm guessing he could be a tan Florida snake, but you know, I don't know. Or brown snake. The sun is starting to come out. This area needs a lot of work, but look at this Tithonia. Is that not insane? It is growing so tall. I mean, like, I don't know why I put it there either, you know, because it is red, but you know, the butterflies love it. I mean, they love it. It almost makes me angry how much they love the Tithonia and go to it more than anything else. Because I would rather them go to pretty things. So that, I mean, not that the Tithonia is not pretty, but I'm just saying, you know, something pink. I mean, come on, let's make it pretty. All right, but here's the back of the garden. And I did end up ripping out the Daily Night shade, because it went from being so pretty to just being like a monster, like overnight. Like overnight, it was just like too massive for words. And when I pulled it out, oh man, it must have weighed like, there were 2 of them, and they must have weighed about 15 pounds. But here I've got my little volunteer sunflower that's about to open up. So lovely. I've still got to trim a lot of salvia. You can see that it's gotten, this stuff I didn't touch last week, and it really does need it, because here's the thing, when the wind blows and it's this big, it's gonna say, well, it's gonna trim itself, and not in a way that I like. So I think I'd rather do it myself. And then what's funny though is when I was trimming that salvia, the bees, they were following me out to the street. I had the wheelbarrow like heaped up with salvia, and they were just coming out and drinking from the flowers all the way out to me dumping it, you know, on the side of the road. And now I can see the Desdemona. I think that's, no, you know what, that might be Gentle Hermione, but one of those right there. If I had not trimmed it back, I would not be seeing those roses. They would just be hiding. So I'm very thankful to get to see them. The gravel garden has not been disturbed by armadillos since I first planted these Salvia leucantha, and that armadillo came that night and pulled this one out. And look, you can see how it's still alive, but look at the difference between what happens to a plant when an armadillo digs it up and what happens when they are left alone. So you can see why, for the most part, I would rather grow in containers. But out here, and I threw these zinnia seeds, and I'm just loving those little pops of color. That's so fun. I guess I don't know how. I guess I'm going to need to cut some of those off and try to encourage them to be bushier. This lavender is still alive. I brought it out here in an effort to maybe keep from watering it, because I don't really water very much in the front yard. I'll just kind of leave it to its own devices because it's just kind of wild and crazy. So it's making it, and I have a lot of zinnia seeds that I threw out here, and then I just let this area just kind of get overgrown with passion flower vine. Like before the end of the summer, like everything, it'll just be a passion flower vine jungle because I love Gulf fritillaries, and I love to have like clouds of Gulf fritillaries. Just they are prolific, and they are a very satisfying butterfly to have because they really do, and they chase each other. It's so cute. And these I had in the back, and you know, that was that one that is like, I think it's Cheyenne Spirit, and it's just not going to work. So I'm going to plant this in here, but this one I'm waiting for it to bloom because I don't remember if it's pink or not, and if it is pink I'm going to take it back in the backyard and put it there. But isn't it crazy tall and big? And I just love having Creeping Jenny do this. Is what I want all my containers to do. Actually, I want Creeping Jenny to cover the whole side of them. But this is where I'm going to show you where I brought all the containers that were on the back seating area and just kind of lined them up here. And I've really been enjoying watching the hummingbirds drink from them because they do love that Amistad salvia. And then got some caladiums, and my hydrangeas are looking like they need a good trim. But that's, and then of course in the back right there is that beautyberry, and I think that's a Confederate rose. So I've been enjoying this view. Here's where I enjoy the view from this pool. It gets so hot when I'm gardening. I have to be fully immersed in cold water, and so I've got another pool on the front porch again, so that when I'm gardening I can run in here and jump in and cool off and not have a heat stroke. And on the front screened-in porch is the only place that I've ever really kind of successfully grown a maidenhair fern, even though it's got some brown stuff in it right now, right there. That is the best it has ever looked. So I'm very thankful for that, and it must really like this spot. Two of my favorite zinnias that are growing right now are this one, which I don't know if that's salmon, and then this one over here that's got all these petals. I'm thinking about possibly digging a few of these up and putting them in containers and seeing if I can make them grow giant, because they don't get any help from me out here. But don't you love just the little kind of spots of color that just kind of pop up in the green? It's like almost like it's polka dotted. I don't have to babysit these monarch caterpillars anymore because they're all turning into chrysalises. I was wanting to show you something weird though. So this one just turned into a chrysalis. That's why the skin is still on it. But look at how small that one is compared to the other one. I do not know why that has happened. And here's my last one. He's hanging in the J formation and gonna probably be a chrysalis by the time I get home from church. Man, these are gonna be chrysalises all pretty soon too. So these are eastern black swallowtails. Look at this guy. See, he's hanging on this stick right here. He's made his little thing, his little sling or hammock or whatever they call it. And he'll probably be a chrysalis by the time I get home from church also. It happens so quick. You really need to be sitting there staring at it and not look away, because I'm telling you, one day I was determined to see it happen and sitting there watching, and I turned my head, seriously, I'm not kidding, for a few seconds, and I turned back and it had already happened. It's like they don't like to be watched. Just how giant does a caterpillar have to get, a giant swallowtail caterpillar, before it turns into a chrysalis? Apparently, I don't know, because this guy has seemed to be massive for this whole week, and I keep thinking, okay, now he's going to be a chrysalis, but no, it has not happened. And here's another guy that's pretty big, and right on top of him is a little one right there. You see that? He's eating that leaf. So I think I have about in here about 6. That tiny one's hard to find though. I wanted to show y'all this Bobo Hydrangea. It looked like a bunch of dead sticks, but it's starting to pop out. I planted it in an area that didn't get enough sun, so now that the lemon tree's gone, I think it's gonna do well. I wanted to find they are out here. There's a bunch of them. I just got even buzzed by one, but the dragonflies are out in force, and I'm so glad that they're here, because what I wish would happen is that God would just surround me with a cloud of dragonflies that would eat all the mosquitoes that came near me. It would be such a neat thing to have a dragonfly entourage. Isn't that pretty with the sun shining? Yesterday I went to Cornucopia and I'm on a pink and white kick, and I got some interesting things. Now this is a pink cleome. I'm gonna cut the flowers off though to about right here so it can bush out. But the other one that I have is a lavender cleome. So, and I thought that I was getting pink when I got that one. And I think these are bubblegum Supertunias. They weren't marked, but they look like it. And they're gonna get crazy. They're already kind of crazy in the pot. So I'm excited about those. And these little white things are, I think this is Mexican heather. It calls it Cupfria, but it's Flora Glory Maria Cupfria. So I know how those are going to grow because I've had some before. But look at this. This is cool. So this is a regular vinca with a little pink eye. And then look at this. This is also vinca, but they're so little and cute. So two different kinds. I just really like that. And this grass, I'm going to cut it in half. It's already kind of, I bet when I look how root bound it is. So I'm going to cut that in half. I'll have two of them. Grass cherry sparkler. Oh, here, it's got a little tag in it. Let's see what it says. It says, yeah, cherry sparkler fountain grass. Isn't it pretty? I'm really liking that. And then I got some of this jasmine that I'm gonna grow. We were listening to that song while we were out at the pass, and we were watching boats come in, and one of them was called something like Summer Breeze, and made us think about that song Summer Breeze. And it says like summer breeze makes you feel fine, and blowing through the jasmine in my mind. And so we were like, you know what, I have some night flowering jasmine, but I don't have this. So, and it's already got some kind of viney stuff, so I'm gonna plant it along the fence. But so much pink and white. I'm really excited about all that. I found this really big bug in the driveway. Look at the size of it. It's about 2 inches long. And I used my Picture This app to figure out what it was, and they call it a giant water bug, and they call it a toe biter, which is kind of disturbing. But look at that. Isn't it interesting? They say that they're beneficial because they eat mosquito larvae, so don't kill one if you see it. I got to celebrate this volunteer sunflower because I cannot grow sunflowers here. I have tried. As soon as I plant a sunflower seed, I think the squirrels are watching me plant them, and then they just go out and dig them up. I mean, it's just that they see it go into the ground and they go dig it up and eat it. So the only ones that make it are the ones that do it in secret, under the cover of dark, plant themselves and grow. But I'm just enjoying the sunflower. I hope y'all are having a fabulous, fabulous gardening season. I don't want to even call it spring anymore. They stay at spring, but to me it's summer. It is full-blown summer now. I am dripping sweat like right now. But y'all have a great week. God bless you. Keep you safe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.